Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails here with John G. Sutton. Yeah, do like and subscribe, by the way. Please do that. And don't forget to buy my book. Of course you have. You've already got a copy, haven't you? Today I'm going to talk about celebrity entitlement, which is a strange thing, and it often leads to criminality. Not that the actual offenders, the celebrities that do the offending, believe that they are committing an offence. They believe it's their entitlement to do this. I've met numerous celebrities who have been what I would consider to be prolific and repeat offenders in various ways. But one of the ones I met at Wormwood Scrubs was, of course, John Stonehouse, the cabinet minister in Harold Wilson's government. He was the minister, the post office minister, and he was the guy who invented the two-tier system for stamps, first class and second class stamps. I mean, what kind of a genius dreams that up? It just means you've got to sort out the first class from the second class. Then you've got to deliberately delay the second class because it doesn't make people want to buy the fare. It's just nonsense. Anyway, that was John Stonehouse. He eventually set up his own bank, believe it or not. His own bank in London. Persuaded friends, associates, and whoever was stupid enough to listen to him to invest the money into his bank, put the money into his bank, and he cleaned it all out. Went to Miami in America, in Florida in America, left his clothes on the beach there and did a disappearing act. But of course he didn't really think he was doing anything greatly wrong. He was just entitled to all this money. Yeah, obviously did think that. And when he was at the Scrubs, he behaved like he was still a cabinet minister. Not in my presence, by the way, because I didn't accept that. To me, he was just a prisoner, and was subsequently advised that he would behave like a prisoner when in my presence, which of course led to him exercising his right as an entitled individual to have me removed, which he did, believe this or not. He got the nursing staff at Hammersmith Hospital, where he was, and I was the hospital guard, to contact the prison and complain about me. And the chief officer sent out a replacement and sent for me into his office, where he said to me, I believe you've been upsetting the staff at Hammersmith Hospital. I said, no, I've just been there to do what I was sent there to do, and that's to act as the guard, the prison officer in charge of an inmate known as John Stonehouse. He said, yes, but you've been upsetting the ward sister. I said, sorry, I didn't realise I was there to entertain the ward sister. I thought I was there to ensure that John Stonehouse didn't escape. I say, the chief officers, I mean, they were basically a safe pair of hands. It happens with them all, doesn't it? I mean, look at Rolf Harris. I mean, he was quickly whisked away to open prison conditions, where he was put into some kind of place where he was teaching people art. So he had it nice and easy, which he really did. Yeah, the problem that you've got with celebrities, and I've worked with a few, yeah. I worked with one called PROBY, who had been a big star in the 1960s. He opened his career in the UK with an appearance on Jack Good's Around the Beatles in 1964. I think it was January 1964. And he was introduced for the first time on British television by Paul McCartney, who introduced him as our great friend from America, PROBY. And so, I mean, as big a kick up the ladder as you can get, he got it right up the ladder, straight to the top. Records out by Decca, produced by Jack Good, by the way. And he had hits with things called Hold Me and Together, and then he had a big hit with one called Somewhere. You may remember that. There's a place for us, somewhere, like that. He made somewhere into 3 syllables. Anyway, I worked with him for a while. I wrote some songs. I write songs and music, see, and he recorded some of my songs, and I was working with him, and he seemed to think that he was entitled to help himself to young girls. It's a strange thing, that, isn't it? That these pop stars think young girls are what they really want. We've recently got a case, which you will have no doubt seen, where the comedian come personality Russell Brand has been accused by a young lady of 16 that he used the BBC's staff cars to go and pick her up from school. And he was grooming her, like, well, you mustn't tell anybody about this. This is our little secret, and generally abusing this young lady. Of course, Russell Brand may be completely innocent of that, and she may be making it all up. Who knows, but it's all going to come out in the wash now. Various other celebrities have found themselves on that. I mean, there was Jerry Lee Lewis, who married his 13-year-old cousin. 13 years old. Married her. Brought her to England as his wife. Brought her to England, yeah. There was a holy uproar. This was in the 60s when Jerry Lee Lewis toured Britain. They sacked his tour and sent him back. Seriously, that was Jerry Lee Lewis. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. That was Jerry Lee Lewis's song. You ever hear it? Anyway, so a number of these celebrities get the mistaken idea that they can do what they damn well want. And when they finally get their comeuppance into prison, they still think they're entitled. So you got all these so-called pop stars like Gary Glitter, who thinks, mistakenly believed that he was entitled to help himself to young children. I mean, where they get this from? What on earth? Just because they sing a few songs, hello, hello, what's a rock and roll? I mean, it doesn't entitle you to anything, does it? You're not entitled to anything special just because you sing a few daft songs, not in my opinion. Anyway, Gary Glitter's still banged up, isn't he? But, as I say, working with celebrities, they seem to think they're entitled to do what they want to do. Seriously, I was with Proby one night in, where was it? Chesterley Street. We were recording in Chesterley Street at a studio there. And as we were going back to the hotel, there were about half a dozen young children, young girls playing outside. There'd be about 12, 13. He tried to persuade them to come in. I said to him, Jim, because his name was Jim Smith, actually, not PJ Proby, his real name was Jim Smith. I said, you ain't doing this. He said, I'm doing what I damn well. Get off. And I got him by the back of the neck, lifted him up off the floor from the back, and hurled him into the hotel. Said, you ain't going with no little girls while I'm here. Eventually, he tried to persuade me to attend his wedding, and he was going to get married to an 11-year-old girl. I had enough of it by this time, so I reported him to social services, and that was the end of my working relationship with PJ Proby. But he's still around, by the way, but he's been banned off his tours because people are saying we're not going to have a pervert here. There'll be demonstrations outside your theatres, So and he did that himself by giving an interview to the Daily Mirror, in which he said that he only liked young girls because they were fresh. Oh, yeah, really? Yeah, not like you dirty old bastard. Anyway, time passes. Yeah, and that is my little rant for today. But when they get in prison, they still think they're entitled because they're so-called celebrities. And one's watching in wonder as it all unravels around Russell Brand. And look what's happened to the others that have recently been. Of course, we got Stuart Hall from the BBC. I remember Stuart Hall. Listen, he didn't live too far from me, Stuart Hall, and in the 70s and 80s when he was doing It's a Knockout, yeah, he was charging £1,000 a time to judge the Miss Blackpool contest, the beauty contests. But that's not all he wanted. He insisted on having a young girl as well. So they had to have a girl who was approximately 18 years of age. That was his agreement. Owen Oyston and all that. I mean, Owen Oyston, he was another one. He owned Blackpool Football Club, didn't he? And a big estate agent, Oyston's Estate Agents, and various other high-profile businesses that he owned. He was having parties with young ladies, and when he went into, he was in a prison, a local prison, yeah, Wymot, I believe, HMP Wymot, and he was paying hundreds and hundreds of pounds a week to the local tough guys in the prison to protect him, because he felt that he was going to be subjected to some retribution for interfering with little girls, young girls, Anyway, it's a strange, strange world. What's wrong with getting married? I mean, I've been married 53 years. Yeah. I won't dream about going out and that. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Song dinger, folks. Run for the hills, grab your goat and go for it, yeah? Hope the gang's all here. Paula, Catherine, Larry the goat herd. He says he's a goat herd, but I think he's really just their friend, their special friend. It's a real serious song dinger today, because I am going to sing to you. So unless you like being tortured, I'd do a runner. This is a song that was originally recorded by Johnny Ray. I remember watching Johnny Ray at the London Palladium around about 1956, something like that, when I was a young boy. This is a song, one of his big hits. He used to have an hearing aid in, and he used to put his hand up to his ear and throw himself on the floor. It was a real act. This is his song called Cry. And I'm not going to be able to do all the dramatics, but I'll give it a little go, entertainment. If your sweetheart sends a letter of goodbye, well, it's no secret you feel better if you cry when waking from a bad dream. Don't you sometimes think it's real, but it's only false emotions that you feel. Acting that bit, wasn't I? If your heartaches seem to hang around too long, and your blues keep getting bluer with each song, remember, sunshine can be found behind a cloudy sky. So let your head down, go on and cry. If your heartaches seem to hang around too long, and your blues keep getting bluer with each song, Well now, remember sunshine can be found behind a cloudy sky. So let your head down, go on, baby, and cry. Are you still here? Really? Oh, well, there you go. I hope you've not torn all your hair out. Look what happened to mine when I sang it. All gone. Bye.